to the audiobook of New Social Studies, Grade 10. Unit 7, Lesson 11, page number 292. Causes of the Second World War. Introduction. The most devastating war that started on 1st September 1939 AD and spread worldwide and ended on 12th September 1945 AD, causing huge loss of lives and properties, is known as the Second World War. During the Second World War, the European powers were divided into two rival camps, which are called Allies power and Axis power. Britain, France, Russia, the USA, etc. fought from the side of Allies, and Germany, Italy, Japan, etc. fought from the side of Axis power. The major causes of the Second World War. Number 1. Violation of Versailles Treaty by Germany. After the end of the First World War, this treaty was signed between Allies and Germany in the Versailles Palace of France. It is said that defeated Germany accepted this treaty with a knife at its throat. It was an imposed treaty. It contained the most humiliating terms for Germany. Germany was forced to accept the responsibility of the First World War. All German colonies and large portion of German territory were confiscated. C-O-N-F-I-S-C-A-T-E-D, confiscated. German army was disarmed and it was reduced to 1 lakh soldiers. Germany was banned to manufacture weapons and had to pay £660 million as the compensation of war. Germany was ill-treated in Europe. Foreign forces were deployed in Germany to compel it to follow the treaty. Such humiliation could not be forgotten by German people and wanted to take revenge of it. This feeling of revenge led to increase in support for Adolf Hitler, who started to violate the Paris Peace Treaty, Treaty of Versailles, one after another after he came to power, and paved the way for the Second World War. Number 2. Failure of the League of Nations. After the First World War, the League of Nations was established on 10th January 1920 AD to prevent the world from world war. It was established according to the idea of the then U.S. President Woodrow Wilson, but the USA never took the membership of the League of Nations. Lacking the support of the USA, the League of Nations became weak. On the other hand, the permanent member of the League of Nations started violating its principle and policy. Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931 AD. Japan quitted the membership of the League of Nations in 1933 AD. Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1936 AD. Germany quitted League of Nations in 1933 AD and invaded Austria in 1938 AD and Czechoslovakia in 1939 AD. Russia got control over Finland, but the League of Nations could neither control the war nor take necessary action against their act. The failure of the League of Nations became the cause of the Second World War. Number 3. Rise of Dictators. After the First World War, Adolf Hitler in Germany, Benito Mussolini in Italy, General Francisco Franco in Spain, etc. emerged and started to exercise the dictatorship. They adopted the policy of might is right in the internal politics. Likewise, they increased militarism and demonstration of weapons to challenge and threaten the other countries. They even spread the slogans of extreme nationalism. Hitler suspended the constitution and took all the state powers in his hand. He made compulsory for youths to join in army. Such activities weakened the democratic system in the world and became the cause of Second World War. Number 4. Unholy alliances of the nations. To stop the spread of communism in Europe, Japan and Germany had signed a treaty in 1936 AD called Anti-Comintern Pact. Comintern, Comintern. In 1937 AD, Italy also joined an Anti-Comintern Pact, and it was called Rome-Berlin-Tokyo Axis. Japan wanted to suppress the spread of communism in China through this axis. After the formation of Rome-Berlin-Tokyo Axis, they started to extend their empire. America, England, France did not pay interest in their invasions, thinking that they will help to stop the spread of communism. But the Axis started to fulfill their interest and threaten the world peace. On the other side, France, British, Romania, Yugoslavia, and USA made another group. Soon, Russia too joined them, and the Second World War broke out. Number 5. Fear of communism and the policy of appeasement. Appeasement. When the First World War was going on, communism was established in Russia after the October Revolution of 1917 AD, 1917. As Russia made progress through this system, within a short period, its influence spread in the world. France and Britain were dissatisfied. Britain had a fear of losing its supremacy. Thus, Britain adopted the policy of appeasement, a political strategy to pacify potentially hostile nation in the hope of avoiding war. Wishing that alliance of Germany makes attack on Russia and Russia loses its power. France also supported Britain in this act. Number 6. Spanish Civil War. Civil war broke out in Spain in 1936 AD. It was the war between the Republicans and Conservatives. So, General Francisco Franco mobilized army to suppress the movement. Italy and Germany supported him. They also got a golden opportunity to test the military power and ability of their weapons. As a result, General Franco got the victory and was involved in the alliance Germany against communism. It also added the war sentiment of Axis power, and thus Second World War broke out. Number 7. Economic crisis. The First World War brought severe economic crisis worldwide. People were suffering from lots of problems like unemployment, inflation, shortage of food, etc. The life of people was very difficult. Such difficulties increased dissatisfaction and frustration among the common people. Agriculture production decreased, poverty increased, and industries were almost closed. On the other hand, the unemployed youth were involved in the military. Were involved in military and armament. Armament. It also invited the Second World War. Number 8. Immediate cause, attack on Poland. In 1939 AD, Hitler demanded Danzig, Danzig, and Polish corridor from Poland. These territories were given to Poland according to the Treaty of Versailles from Germany. Hitler wanted these parts so as to have access to Baltic Sea, but Poland denied. At the same time, Hitler signed a treaty with Russia on 23 August 1939 AD called Nazi-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact, and both the countries agreed to divide Poland and annex its parts in their countries. They also agreed not to attack each other for 10 years. On 1 September 1939 AD, Hitler of Germany invaded Poland by making sudden attack from both land and air. This sudden attack was called Blitzkrieg, Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war. Britain and France warned Germany to stop the attack immediately, but Germany refused. Then Britain and France jointly declared war against Germany on 3 September 1939 AD. Thus, the Second World War broke out. Chronology of the Second World War. Date in AD and events. 1st September 1939 AD. Germany attacked Poland and beginning of the Second World War. 3rd September 1939. Britain and France declared war against Germany. 9th April 1940. Germany attacked Denmark and Norway. 30th April 1940. Japan joined Axis power. 10th May 1940. Germany attacked Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. 17th May 1940. Germany attacked France. 10th June 1940. Italy declared war against Britain and France. 10th July 1940. Britain started taking part in war. 28th October 1940. Italy attacked Greece. 6th April 1941. Germany attacked Yugoslavia and Greece. 21st April 1941. Greece surrendered. 22nd June 1941. Germany attacked Russia. 1st September 1941. Italy attacked Egypt. 7th December 1941. Japan attacked American ship with bombs at Pearl Harbor. 8th December 1941. America declared war against Axis power. 27th February 1942. Ocean war at Java. 4th May 1942. Coral Ocean War. 4th June 1942. Battle of Midway. 3rd September 1943. Italy surrendered. 25th August 1944. Allies made Paris free. 17th January 1945. Russia invade Warsaw. 12th April 1945. U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt died and Harry S. Truman elected as the president. 28th April 1945. Mussolini murdered. 30th April 1945. Hitler and his beloved Eva Braun, B-R-A-U-N, committed suicide. 7th May 1945. German finally surrendered at Reims, R-H-E-I-M-S. 6th August 1945. America dropped atom bomb named Little Boy in Hiroshima, Japan. 9th August 1945. America dropped second atom bomb named Fat Man in Nagasaki, Japan. 12th September 1945. Japan surrendered and the Second World War ended. Activity, page number 295. Number 1. Why did Japan and Italy join Axis power in the Second World War though they were in Allies power in the First World War? Search the reasons from internet and other sources and discuss. Number 2. How did the American policy of neutrality cause the outbreak of the Second World War? Discuss in the class. Number 3. A journalist asked the great scientist Albert Einstein what kind of weapons would be used in the Third World War. Albert Einstein replied, "I don't know about the Third World War, but if Fourth World War takes place, stone weapons will be used." What meaning is implied here by Albert Einstein? Exercise. Very short answer questions. Number 1. What is meant by the policy of appeasement? Number 2. When did the Second World War break out and end? Number 3. What is the difference between communism and imperialism? Number 4. What was Anti-Comintern Pact? What was its objective? Number 5. What was Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis? Number 6. What was the immediate cause of the Second World War? Number 7. When and why did the USA join in the Second World War? Short answer questions. Number 1. If the Treaty of Versailles was fair, the Second World War would not have occurred. How do you justify this statement? Number 2. Why is the economic crisis considered as the cause of the Second World War? Number 3. The Second World War was the war created by Hitler. How? Clarify with facts. Number 4. How did the dictatorship of Hitler, Mussolini, and Franco result to the outburst of Second World War? Discuss. Number 5. Germany seems guilty for the outbreak of the Second World War. Were the countries which imposed the most humiliating Treaty of Versailles not responsible for that? Justify your answer. Long answer question. Number 1. How were Britain, Russia, and France responsible for the outburst of the Second World War? Give reasons for each of them. Community work. British were adversary of Nepalese during the Anglo-Nepal War, but became friend of Nepal in First and Second World War. Similarly, Nepalese fought against Japan, Germany, and Italy in the battlefield in the Second World War, but now they are good friends of Nepal. Thus, today's enemy can be a friend tomorrow. Taking a similar incident as an example in your community or family, prepare a story based on it. This is the end of Unit 7, Lesson 11, at page number 296. This podcast is dedicated to visually impaired students, so if you know anybody who needs this book to listen and learn, please share the link, and also please subscribe the channel. Thank you and all the best.